Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our FC26 career mode here with Burnley. We are back today with the penultimate episode of season 4 of The Save, where we've got big fixtures coming up in the Premier League and our Europa League Semi Final against Real Betis as well, where we're looking to reach our third final of The Save after winning the Carabao Cup earlier on in the season, reaching the FA Cup final where we will take on Arsenal in the previous episode, and of course we are still competing in the Premier League for the title as well. We've got a pretty tough run in the Premier League, and we're going to play 4 of our remaining 5 games today. Due to the power of editing, I'm going to save the FA Cup and the Europa League finals if we get to the Europa League final for the next episode. As I say, due to the power of editing, you won't see them even if I do play them in between today's fixtures. But I'm waffling on, guys. Let's jump into our first game. It is Real Betis in the first leg of the semi-final here at Turf Moor, looking for a positive result to take with us to Spain in the second leg. Come on, you Claras. Yeah, it's a real wet one here at Turf Moor. You can see how much the water is sort of like bunching up on the turf. It's really difficult to play through, and Betis on the front foot here early on, as Hakan will get his foot on the ball. But yeah, slow start from Burnley in the opening 5, and I tell you what, this rain is going to make things very interesting here at Turf Moor. And obviously in the quarterfinals we had the benefit of heading back to Lancashire for the second leg, and obviously we were trailing and managed to turn it around. But here, if we have a poor result in the home leg, then we're going to have to travel to Spain for the second, potentially with a deficit, as that's rolled inside and Trafford claims. We've not started particularly well here. Well guys, we're underway in the second period here, still deadlocked at 0-0. First half was pretty quiet after Betis started the strongest, as Juve gets there. Juve! Oh, it's just wide. And that's the biggest chance of the game so far. Here is Amari. And we know that he's got that little bit of star quality in this team that could potentially be the difference here, as Illing Jr. does well. Nice ball into Zeki. There's Leslie. And Leslie again into Gabriel Peck on the right foot. And I've moved him out to this left-hand side where he's probably not his strongest position. He'd rather be on that right side. But with Amari coming on, he's moved to the left. And what a move it's turned out to be, as he drills in the opening goal. Burnley have their breakthrough and lead Betis with 20 minutes to play. That's a good ball. Lasada out to Anthony, who does well to get back at him. Dangerous cross. Leslie does well. Oh, not there. That's such a cheap goal to give away, man. And I brought Leslie on for some defensive stability, and it's his mistake that allows Pablo Fornals to equalise for Betis. But that's such a cheap goal to give away. Well, there's the whistle, guys, and I feel like that is a disappointing result in the end. I mean, I said I'd be happy being level heading back to Seville for the second leg, but the manner in which we gave that goal up, so disappointing. Leslie just put it on a plate for Fornals, and there was nothing that Ben Ball nor James Trafford could do. So we will be all square heading to Spain for the second leg, but before we get there, a big clash in the Premier League as we travel to Selhurst Park, looking to close the gap on Liverpool at the top, who have moved 5 points clear. But of course, this is our game in hand where we can cut the gap back to 2 points. So a must-win game in London. Come on, you Claras. Yeah, another big game in the Premier League coming up today, and got to try and keep pace with Liverpool, who still lead the way at the top. As that's a brilliant ball slipped in behind, and there's Hannibal. And Jackson to give us the lead. What a strike, and what a start here at Selhurst Park. Do you know what? I think we scored really early here last season when we played Palace. Amari Hutchinson scored a brace, and I'm pretty sure he scored in the opening couple of minutes. Crystal Palace fans must be sick of the sight of us, but what a strike that is by Jackson. His third of the campaign, and we lead early on here at Selhurst Park. And after going behind in our previous 2 league games, that's exactly what we needed. Reached the half-hour mark here at Selhurst, still leading by 1. Hasn't really been any clear-cut chances since that opening goal, but here come Palace. Rakisaki into the middle, brilliantly worked. And Jonathan Burkhart gets Crystal Palace back on level terms. Jonathan Burkhart twisting. Beelan does well to hold him up, but that's into Devaney, and what a save by James Trafford, as now Palace really do have the upper hand. Rakisaki's corner, headed away by Jackson, not fully clear. And now Amari Hutchinson will pick out Strand Larsen. And Jaden offloads to Juve, and we'll have to recycle back inside as Jorgen looks to hold off his man. There's Jaden back to Jorgen Strand Larsen, and he finds the net. Despite a bit of pressure from Crystal Palace, we will head into the break leading by 2-1. Lovely hold up by Jaden as he offloads to Larsen, gets away from Lacroix and fires it past the Palace keeper to restore our lead. Oh, go on. Marcus has pinched that. Read that very well. And Rudoni finds Ezekiel. Forward for Jorgen. Round the corner for Marcus Edwards. What a tackle that is. And right at the last second, Palace get a foot in. But there's Marcus Edwards again. And this time they won't get a foot in. And that should be the points in the bag. Marcus Edwards gets his 8th of the campaign. Was denied just a few seconds ago. But that should be a massive 3 points that will keep us in the hunt for the Premier League title. Yep, there is the whistle here at Selhurst. It is now 3 wins in our 4 visits to this ground. No longer Oliver Glasner's Crystal Palace, sacked earlier on in the season, but regardless, we do visit London and come away with all 3 points. Jorgen Strand Larsen on target once again with his 17th of the campaign, and another goal for Marcus Edwards, who he himself is having a phenomenal season as well. But on to the big one, second leg of the Europa League Semi Final, travelling to Seville as we take on Real Betis, looking to reach the final, where I think we would be serious favourites against either Feyenoord or Ajax. So a big game here, deadlocked at 1 apiece as we head into the second leg. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, great atmosphere in Seville for this one. And for those that watched our Sevilla save last year, you'll know that obviously Betis were our big rivals. So I've still got a bit of a soft spot for Sevilla and would love to make it through here. And the big news heading into this game, bit of a strange one. Again, needs a little bit of work from EA, but Real Betis have sacked their manager days before the second leg of the Europa League Semi Final. I'm not really too sure about that one, EA, as Gabriel Peck does well, but can only find the side netting with his strike. But yeah, Real Betis with a caretaker manager, so I'm looking to make sure that we make it into the final of the Europa League with that in mind. Good start, but Gabriel couldn't find the net there. Good run by Ika Losada, and it's out wide to Jamie Gittens, who gets the ball under and plays it into the middle. But Florentino, who gets the start today, one of very few starters who gets a rare appearance in the Europa League, but I wanted him in there for that defensive prowess. And Illing Jr. finds Florentino into Ezekiel. Now Gabriel Peck and Juve on the overlap, and Zeki's in the middle calling for it, and there is Zeki. And we're back in front in on aggregate, sorry. Zeki's 4th goal in the Europa League, but he's scored goals in every competition this season. He's been a great backup for Jørgen Strand Larsen, and he's got about 11 or 12 assists as well. Our number 25 on the mark in the Europa League, and that's a big step towards the final of this competition. Get in. Yeah, sorry guys, I seem to be having a bit of difficulty getting my words out today. Not that I see myself as much of a wordsmith. Oh, as Juve has a pull, and that's going to be a spot kick. Well, I certainly didn't mean to do that. If I did accidentally pull back on him, I certainly didn't mean to. And it's a little bit soft the way that Antony goes down. For me, it's not a penalty, but Francelinho will have the chance from the spot kick to get Betis back level. It's down the middle, and it's 2-2 on aggregate. In my opinion, it's a little bit soft. I'm in the ear of the 4th official, but Betis with the instant leveller. Well, guys, I certainly did not mean to bring Antony down with the tactical foul feature. And if I did do so, then it was a complete accident, because as he was heading into the area, I would not have deliberately pulled him down there, but I still think it was very soft as Edwards just overruns that there. There was a little pull on the shoulder, but I think if you're giving penalties for that amount of contact, I'm not sure as that's dangerous. And the header just wide by Lasada. But we've got a real big second half coming up with both sides still level and the tie massively in the balance. We will head into the break. Once again deadlocked on the night at 1 apiece and 2-2 on aggregate. And this is anyone's guess who's going to go on to win this. Francelinho, oh, through the gap brilliantly. Antony striking. Oh, Illing Jr. does brilliantly, and Francelinho followed up, and somehow we keep the ball out. Betis so close to finding the goal to put them in front there. But Trafford with a big save. I think Illing Jr. got a big foot in as well, and it was a little bit scrappy, but Burnley do survive with Betis turning to their bench. I think I might have to do the same here as well, because it feels like Real Betis are just getting on top here as Burke finds Zeki. And Zeki back to Illing Jr. There's Edwards. And Illing Jr. Nobody to pick out in the middle. There's Zeki. Oh, what a finish. And he's done it again. Zeki Amdouni with his 2nd goal on the night. And I'm not sure how he managed to find the gap there, but from one end to the other, Burnley back in front after Betis had a great opportunity to get themselves in front. But what a finish from Zeki Amdouni. Luzi heads on to Gabriel. I am just waiting for my subs to come on next time the ball goes out of play. But here's Juve. He gave away the pen. Down the other end. Cross comes in. Zeki's header. What a save, Providel. And that probably would have been tie over. If he heads that into the corner, it is tie over. But he could only head straight at the former Lazio man. Corner swung in looking for Bash and headed away. But that is a real chance for Burnley to have put the tie to bed. Now here come Betis again with Jamie Gittins. Ball did well. Then gets a little bit unfortunate. And Francelinho's in, and Trafford gets something on it, but can't keep it out. And again, Betis fight back with an instant leveller, as they did in the first half. Brilliant break from them. And as the ball is rolled through to Francelinho, Trafford's unlucky, but he can't keep it out. And we're dead level once again in this crazy Europa League Semi Final tie. Balerdi finds Altimara. And the Spaniard with a lovely pass in behind Illing Jr. for Antony. Jackson has to get up and does well, but it's still alive. Gittins shoots, and Trafford with the save, but it is Betis on the front foot looking to win this. Jamie Gittins again. Takes on Jackson. Finds Cucho Hernandez. And Mark Rocker on the edge. Cucho Hernandez once more. Twisting, turning. Ball has to be careful. And Florentino does enough. And I think that will do it. Unless we are given one final chance on the break. Zeki to Rudoni. Back to Zeki. Can he win it? Zeki Amdouni! Book your ticket. Burnley are heading to the Europa League final, and what a way to do it as well. My goodness. Zeki Amdouni with a hat-trick in the semi-finals. And Burnley are heading to their third final of the season. He gets away from his man and he strikes it early into that top corner past Providel. And what an end to this game here. I thought that Betis might win it, and the referee allowed us one final chance, which allowed Zeki Amdouni to drill in the winning goal. What a tie here in Seville. And we will be heading into the Europa League final. My goodness. My goodness, guys. We have had some crazy contests in the Europa League over the last couple of episodes. The comeback win against Chelsea, and that was just pure chaos against Betis. What a way to win it. And in the final, we're going to be taking on one of the Dutch sides, either Ajax or Feyenoord, and it's going to be Feyenoord, who, if we take a look at the league phase, did really, really well. Finished third just below us with 6 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat, and they've done really well in the run to the final. Knocked out Benfica in the last 16, Salzburg in the quarterfinals, and then their domestic rivals Ajax in the semi. I would have us as favourites, but that's definitely going to be a tough game against the Dutch side. Oh, and the games just keep on coming, guys. Looking at the league table, I think our 6-horse race has maybe now been cut down to 2 between ourselves and Liverpool. City are 6 behind with 3 games left to play. We are 5 behind still, but we do have the game in hand. But of course, our next fixture is against Liverpool. If we win all of our remaining 4, we will be crowned champions. But of course, Liverpool, in a similar boat, they probably need to just win 2 of their remaining 3. And if they avoid defeat against us, then you'd probably say that is Liverpool's title in the bag. But yeah, Man City, Spurs, Newcastle, Arsenal have all fallen off in recent weeks, and Liverpool have just been consistently winning and do look like favourites for the title. So another massive clash as we take on Liverpool in the Premier League, looking to close the gap to them at the top of the table. Come on, you Clarets. Well, guys, depending on how our remaining league fixtures go, I may potentially close out the Premier League campaign here, because, to be honest, if Liverpool win this, then they're probably going to go on to win the title pretty comfortably. But if it does go down to the final day, then I might save it for the next episode. I'm not too sure. It'd be quite nice to close out today, but that Europa League Semi Final was pretty crazy, so it probably will be quite a long episode. But I hope you guys like the long episodes. I'm trying to keep the episodes as exciting as I can. I don't want to cut things out just to make the episode shorter. So hope you guys enjoy the longer videos. But yeah, massive game here against Liverpool. Obviously, if we do get the win today, we have destiny in our own hands heading into the final 3. If Liverpool get it, I think it is pretty much all but over in the race for the title. Yeah, have we got the nerve to go all the way with Liverpool as Gravenberch finds a pocket of space, dispossessed by Scott, and now Jadon can come away down the left-hand side. I do feel this is where we can get at that Liverpool backline, targeting Joe Gomez, as we did at Anfield in the early stages of the campaign. Cross comes in, is hung up for Amari. That'll drop for Jackson on the edge, and Georgi Mamardashvili forced into the first real save of the game. Promising little counter-attack that from Burnley, and as I mentioned, I think that's where we're going to have our joy today. Yeah, my main issue when I face Liverpool is breaking them down, man. I just find it so difficult. Milos Kerkez is always phenomenal, as that's a good save by Trafford, and anywhere will do for Juve. But yeah, Kerkez at left back, I can just never get round him. Into the final few stages. This has been the pattern of this second half. Mainly Liverpool attacks and Burnley struggling to get out as Szoboszlai finds Gravenberch. And a goal here will all but secure the title for Liverpool as Isak finds Victor Gyökeres. No, 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 no. I panicked, guys. I panicked. And he's got some of the ball, but it probably is a spot kick. He comes through the back of Victor Gyökeres. And I was trying so hard to keep them out that I panicked and the pressure got to me. And this will all but secure the title for Liverpool unless Trafford can make a big save. But no, Victor Gyökeres wins it. And as I say, that all but secures the title for Vincent Kompany's side. I mean, a draw would have been a better result for Liverpool than for us regardless, but that practically seals it for the Reds. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, it is all but done. 8 points is the gap. Yes, we have the game in hand, but that comes against Spurs, which is a really tricky game with them needing the points to try and get back into a Champions League spot. Even if we win, the gap becomes 5. We'd need Liverpool to lose their final 2 games, where they do have to play Arsenal on match day 37, and then I think they're away at Brentford on match day 38. So it is very unlikely, and I think if we fail to win here, even if we draw, the gap would be 7. So if we fail to win here, it will be Liverpool's title. And I think I will probably just close out today's episode with our final Premier League fixtures. With the power of editing, guys, you will have no idea what the scores are in our 2 cup finals. But Spurs away at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. One of our bogey teams got a pretty poor record against them. And Matisse Tell always seems to score against me. So expecting a tough game where nothing but a win will be enough. Come on, you Clarets. Well, let's have a game of bingo, guys. Drop in the comments what minute you think Matisse Tell is going to score against me today. I'm going to guess, he always scores early, I'm going to guess minute 16 for Matisse Tell to get on the score sheet against me. Drop your comments down below and we'll see if and when he does net against me, as Arsenal have gone a goal down against Palace. But yeah, not feeling particularly confident with this game. I've got the FA Cup final in 3 days' time, so definitely more focused on that than a very slim chance of keeping our title hopes alive. Kudus into Kulusevski, given to Jadon. Game's been pretty frantic. No one's really had any control so far. As Prass finds Scott. Pacho comes across. There's Hannibal. Can he slide it home? Big save, Vicario. And it's up onto the crossbar as the Tunisian goes the closest to opening the scoring here. Corner swung in looking for Beelan. And well cleared at the near post. But nearly in front there. But a big save by the Italian. Florentino out to Amari. Ball forward to Hannibal. And Amari's gone on the inside. And now Illing Jr. Nicely worked. Can he finish from the angle? Oh, yes, he can. He's had a great end to the campaign. Samuel Illing Jr. at it again. And we lead as we look to keep our very slim title chances alive. Yeah, still leading by 1 here. Just looking to see this out. Spurs have had all the territory in this second half, but haven't really created anything that has caused us any problems, as Luca sent away. And Jorgen does brilliantly well and should finish for 2. And that is going to do it. So, title not won just yet for Liverpool. They will have to wait a little bit longer, but could wrap it up on a match day 37 with victory against Arsenal. But we've done our job here today. Still a very, very slim chance of us winning the title, but it's not done just yet. Let's head back to the menus and have a quick recap of the league table. Well, guys, here is a look at the top of the Premier League. The gap is cut to 5 to Liverpool, but of course they need just really a single point in their final two to secure the championship. So it feels like more just a matter of time. But for us, we're 5 clear of Newcastle, so just need a single point to wrap up Champions League football. And I think second place is ours for the taking. But obviously we've got the Europa League and FA Cup finals to come before we play these 2 fixtures. So with the power of editing, as I've mentioned, you will be seeing our final 2 games now. So we will jump into our penultimate game of the season against Millwall at home. Where, as I say, a point will be enough to wrap up Champions League football. But for me, I'm going to go and record the final episode of the series where we'll be taking on Feyenoord and Arsenal in our 2 cup finals. So, guys, you'll have to wait for that. I'm sorry. But let's close out the Premier League season. Millwall at home at Turf Moor, looking to wrap up Champions League football and potentially put some pressure on Liverpool as well. Come on, you Clarets. Guys, some interesting developments as we head into this game in what is technically the final match day of the Premier League season. Obviously, we still have 2 games left to play. Like 2 years ago, our final game is being played after the rest of the season has concluded. I've no idea why this has happened again. I guess it's probably due to the number of games we've had in the calendar, with us reaching 2 cup finals. But yeah, really frustrating because our final game comes after everyone else will have concluded their league campaign. But heading into this one, Liverpool have lost to Arsenal, which means, yes, they still only need 1 point to claim the title, but we do still have a chance. If we win here today, then we do put the pressure on Liverpool, who play at the same time as us against Brentford. We need them to slip up. I think even a point is enough for them, but we need them to lose and us to win our final 2 to have any hope of lifting the championship. But yeah, kind of annoying that our final game is after the season's concluded, but what can you do? As Hannibal finds Amari. And Amari finds Jorgen. Lovely hold-up play. Alex Scott bursting onto it and firing in the opening goal as well. We've been on the front foot in these opening sort of 16, 17 minutes. And Alex Scott, just his 3rd goal of the season in what has been an injury-hit campaign. And Juve finds Hannibal. There's Scott. And Leslie, nice football. Leslie Ugachukwu, what a strike that is. Doesn't get too much football nowadays, but I stuck him in for today's game. I think it might be his first league start of the campaign, and he has just stuck one right in the top bins. Alex Scott lays it off to him, and as no one really presses him, he lets fly from right on the edge of the box, and that is an absolute rocket into the top corner. Oh, that's so cheap. What on earth is that? Yeah, sorry about that terrible piece of commentary for that Millwall goal, but I wasn't really expecting anything to come of it. I thought we were just going to kind of get into half-time leading by 2 goals, and then all of a sudden we concede that, which was a terrible goal. But yeah, I apologise for my lack of commentary for that, as Jorgen rolled through. Can he finish? Oh, you bet he can. Luca sent away down the left from the Millwall corner. Chance for us to potentially get a 4th here. He's not really got much support. Swings in an early cross for Hannibal. What a save. And Marcus Edwards will score the rebound. My goodness, that would have been wonderful from Hannibal. But I tell you what, Marcus Edwards has had a fantastic campaign, and that is probably the easiest goal he's scored all season long. Had to be brave with Alfie Doughty throwing a leg at it, but it's ended up being a pretty comfortable win here for Burnley. Goal at Brentford. Oh, 2-1, so it's not going to be enough. I've been waiting all game for an update in the Brentford game at the G-Tech, and finally we get it. Brentford do get a goal back, but it is too little too late, as Liverpool do look as if they're going to win, and even a draw would have been enough for them today. So yeah, that is going to do it. Liverpool will be crowned champions. Despite us winning here, it's not enough, as Liverpool only needed a point. So, do you know what? We'll just head into our final game against the Toffees. We're at home once again, so closing out the campaign at Turf Moor. And after we get through this game, we will do a full Premier League season roundup. But guys, I'll be honest, I'm going to make a lot of changes for this game here. So yeah, don't expect anything special. Everton at home to close out the campaign. Come on, you Clarets. I actually ended up going with a relatively strong lineup. I have gone for James Tarkowski and Connor Roberts both starting this one, with them due to retire. So I thought that was quite a nice touch, but actually a point will see us guaranteed second place. And yeah, I would like to finish as close to Liverpool as possible, because I feel like it was a close run thing, as Esteve heads off the woodwork and Juve fires wide on the rebound. So yeah, I'd like to put out a decent display in our final game. So I've gone for a relatively strong side, but I will probably just show you the goals today. Oh, that's a dangerous ball. Tarkowski has to come across, can't get there, and Tierno Barry scores a wonderful goal. Scored the winner on Merseyside in the return fixture, 10th of the campaign. And the Frenchman, who's had a little bit of stick in real life in the early stages of his Toffees career, clearly showing that if you stick with him, he can be a great source of goals in the top flight. James Tarkowski caught out, and to be honest, I'm quite glad he's retiring, because that was poor defending. Florentino through the gap for Burke. Chance here. Jadon and Juve to level things up. That's a wonderful goal from the fullback. There's been a pretty poor game out there. The rain hasn't helped, but Juve, who's only missed one game this season, gets his 4th goal of the campaign. Well, maybe time for one final attack. Somebody to try and win this, as Jadon sent away down the left-hand side. Still Jadon picks out Hannibal. There's Amari Hutchinson. Can we win it? Yes, we will. Amari Hutchinson, with the final kick of the season, wins it for the Clarets. He's our star man. He missed the majority of the campaign. But we know that next year, if we are going to be in a title race once again, we're going to need this man fully fit and firing. I think that assist for Hannibal will win him the playmaking title as well. But Burnley are going to win it with the final kick of the game here at Turf Moor. Well, guys, as we get back to the menus, we'll take a quick look at the Premier League season to close out today's episode. Obviously, Liverpool Premier League champions, 2 points clear of us in the end. So that late penalty that we conceded against them in our 1-0 defeat could have been the difference, man. It could have been the difference. But you live and you learn, and that is why Liverpool have won 4 out of the last 5 Premier League trophies. But it is Burnley in second in what was a really good campaign for the Clarets. Arsenal in third, 3 points behind us, and Newcastle, last year's champions, in 4th. I mean, they were only, 4, 5, 6, 7 points off the champions, so it was pretty close. Manchester City in 5th will go into the Europa League alongside Tottenham, and it will be Aston Villa in the Conference League. In the end, Chelsea miss out, and Nottingham Forest and Brighton wrap up the top half. As we scroll down the table, it was all quite tight in this section of the table, and then the bottom 5 were quite far adrift, but Wolves and Leeds survived as the 3 newly promoted sides, Southampton, Swansea and Millwall, are all relegated back down to the Championship. And as for the individual player stats, well, Victor Osimhen, top scorer, 6 clear of Lautaro Martinez in second, and Jorgen was third top scorer with 19, but I did touch on it, man. I did touch on it. Is Jorgen the number 9 that can lead us to a Premier League title? I mean, we've been pretty close in the last 2 years, so it would be pretty harsh to say he's not the man. But I did turn down a bid from Arsenal in January and said if a Champions League club comes in for him in the summer, then I'd maybe consider it. So yeah, interesting one over the summer. I wouldn't say I'm actively looking to sell, but there's every chance that he could potentially move if a big bid comes in the summer window. Yeah, you've got to pair his 19 goals with 13 assists he got as well. Big centre forward, a bit like Olivier Giroud, who was a great playmaker alongside a good goal scorer. But it was Hannibal who won the playmaking title with 14 assists. I think Jaden Philogene, yep, in here with 8 assists as well, had a pretty good season. But honestly, the top of the Premier League in this save is fantastic. All of the teams are so evenly matched that literally any one of them can win the title each year. And as for the clean sheets, I can't believe we're into, our 3rd month of this game being out, and EA have still not fixed this. But James Trafford was the official Golden Glove winner with 15 in 38. And I'm not even sure who was second. Emi Martinez with 13. 2 behind him was the closest to the Englishman, who of course signed back at the club this summer. And also, just a quick note, Hannibal with the highest match rating or average rating in the Premier League, featuring in all 38 games. You can ignore Connor Roberts being in there because he only made 1 appearance, but yeah, a really good season from Hannibal. But guys, that is the end of today's episode. Obviously, not the end of the season, as we will be back in the next episode to play through the FA Cup and Europa League finals, and then we will do a full season roundup once we have closed out the season officially. But for the Premier League, that is it. 2nd place, runners up to Liverpool, who make it 4 championships in 5, including the one they won in real life. So yeah, heading into season 5, I think we'll be up there again next year, but juggling Champions League football this year rather than Europa League football is going to make things very interesting, as Burnley are into prime time for the first time in the save. I'll catch you for the next one very soon, where we will play out the FA Cup and Europa League final as we look to add to the Carabao Cup that we won earlier on in the season. I'll catch you for it very soon, guys. Take care and peace.